Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Maximum Series the Maximum Series Spider-Man, and I need to know, does this figure make you maximum angry? Because I can't remember the last time a figure made people so maximum angry, so much so that we turned it into a phrase, maximum, when you're angry. So I don't know. $50, does that seem out of place? It's hard to tell. I do want to go over it. I've seen some other videos. I've talked to some people. I've seen what they say. And the fact of the matter is, $50 for a figure like this doesn't seem outrageous. But when you compare it to some of the other stuff that that Hasbro has done, and you have much bigger, thicker plastic, then you have to start questioning and asking that question. Now, if they're never going to use this mold again, and this is a one-off, and this is what it is, then I say it probably is worth the $50 if they've actually made some changes. But anyway, let's get into this and we can discuss it, because I'm going to show you everything. Then you can make your decision if this is something that you want to be maximum angry over, or if you're like, hey, you know what? I like Maximum Spider-Man. It's the one Spider-Man that I need. It's up to you. I mean, it is your money, but there are some pros and cons I think that we got to talk about when it comes to this cost. So anyway, there it is. There you can see we have a regular face sculpt, and we have two different head sculpts, spider sense, bunch of different hands, some web shooters, and then obviously the figure that's supposed to have more articulation than most other figures. We'll find out real soon. Here we can kind of see already in one spot here. I got this shot right there that they're doing. There he is upside down with the web slinger or web shooter, whatever it is, this web. Over here I do have a Ben Reilly up here, which I think is actually pretty good, but the overlay does affect the torso. But anyway, let's look at this figure, do the review on it, see if it's something that you want to buy. If you don't, then you know what? Buy another Spider-Man for $25. Guess what? There's a whole bunch of them. I know there's a whole bunch because it's another thing that makes people maximum in this community. But before we do, if you like this type of content, if you're about being maximum, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a Marvel Legends, whether it be maximum or not. All right, we got Maximum Spider-Man out, and we're going to take a look at everything. And if you're new to the channel, I like to go over the accessories first. And I do everything in a one shot. I'm going to show you how he poses, how he moves. If I have to heat him up, I try and do it all in one take. So you can see exactly what you're going to get when you get the figure. So anyway, we'll quickly start off with his hands. So he has a plethora of hands. So he has a couple thrap hands, all right, and you can see the nice detail. So there is webs on it, or like the painting of webs. They're not embroidered, they're not embossed. All right, so this one here, we kind of have like a bent finger. This one is completely out. All right, and they should just plug right in there with no issues. We have the wall crawling hands, all right, which I think every Spider-Man should also have. So these two types of hands every Spider-Man should come with, all right. We have his thumb wrestling hands, as we can see here. Now this is going to be great for hopefully holding onto his web right here. All right, and again, it looks pretty good. Detail isn't bad at all. Then we have some other thrap hands that already have the they already have his web shooting out. Okay, so two different styles. All right, so you kind of have a web that's spidering out, and then you have one that's shooting straight out. Detail looks good. It's not the exact same as the other ones. At least I don't think so. Let me see. Is this one? Well, these two might be the same. Or at least very similar. And it's actually put into it, so you're not going to be able to take it off. But you don't have to, because they gave you extra hands. And then you have the ungloved hands. Now, these hands here are very statuesque. Todd McFarlane would be very happy with it. So here you can see this is not Tobey Maguire. He actually has to have a device here. So you're going to be able to pull off the forearms. Look at this here. This one here, he's actually shooting the web because he's actually hitting it. This one here, he hasn't shot it yet, but you can see it. Nice little detail in it. The paint looks good, so nothing to be too upset with there. I think that looks pretty good. All right, now what we have here is this little stand. I know this is not for the figure. This is for the webs, all right? Or at least for one of the webs. So this is going to plug in a lot like Jada, but I gotta say, this thing feels like they went to... this honestly feels like they just went to one of those quarter machines and they got something out of the little eggs. Very, very cheap. Something you see on the top of your pizza box so the pizza doesn't, or the box doesn't hit the pizza. I'm going to assume it's going to do it's going to serve its purpose. All right, so we can kind of stand it like this. But again, the ones that Jada gives us are extremely nice. Where this one here, again, it looks very chintzy, looks very cheap, which probably means it is. All right, so here we're going to have two different spider webs, and are they the same? They're not the same, but very similar, so we'll take a look at it. So this is obviously like the one that he's shooting, all right? And you can see the way it coils around, very flexible, so you're not going to have to worry about bending it and breaking it, all right? And you have the web that's kind of shot through, and looks like there's a little bit of paint on it. I don't even know how you would get paint on this, as there's no paint. But the web is fairly long, all right? That's not a bad size there. That's what she said. And here you kind of have it very limp. And that's not what she wants to say at all. But anyway, there you go with that one. On this one here, you're going to have where he kind of shoots it from. Same design all the way to the end, but this one doesn't have the little limpature to it, I guess you could say. But it does look nice, and again, same length. If I have a tape measure quickly I can grab, you can kind of look at this, at the length. You can't really measure the girth of it, if you were wondering. So this thing is about 9.5 inches long. She should be really happy with that. Man, I need to go watch some Office. So this thing's close to 10 inches. I'm not going to say it anymore. Here we have the nice spider web that's coming out. All right, so this is where he's going to be attaching to something large. He's going to be grabbing someone maybe by the chest, pulling them up. Hopefully it's not Gwen, because he might break her back. But design on this is pretty good. This one is much sturdier. All right, so this one is, for the most part, you're going to be able to get it to stand straight up depending on how you use it. Now I think this here, it has a hole right there, which is going to allow you to plug this in. So I don't have an issue, obviously, with this, okay? No problem with the idea, but I believe the execution doesn't seem that it was top-notch, all right? Especially for something that you're saying this is the be-all, end-all, all right? Then we have this one here, and yes, I think we've all heard the jokes of what it looks like, and it's hard to see. I really wanted to be more professional, but it's hard not to say. It doesn't look like one of the little swimmers that probably gave me a couple of kids. But it does serve its purpose. There we have another hole for it. Man, these jokes are just going to write themselves, aren't they? And we're going to plug this thing right in there. And again, Thanoscopter, you better buy one of these because there are so many things that you can do for your Wednesday photos. Then we have the web shield here, all right? And I think this is the one that people really like. It's something different. It's gonna go around his wrist. I think most people hate that type of stuff, but I don't think it's gonna be bad on something like this. For Captain America, he should be holding it. I don't know how you would hold a shield that you've made out of a web, right? So this works perfectly fine for me. All right, and this is really nice. And you can tell the dirt is in there. And that's how it's supposed to be. Where I don't believe we have anything like that here. And it's probably where we got some of the black that I showed on one of these. Because there's just a little bit of looks like maybe paint wash or however they did it, just to give it a better look, a better design that it's kind of dirty. All right, but again, this is going to snap onto his arm, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. Then we have his spider sense here, which I think will be really nice for shots and different things like that. All you're going to have is just this clear, what looks like a Statue of Liberty crown, whatever she's wearing, just with a little bit of spider sense painted on it. So I think it's going to look pretty decent, no problems there. Now we're going to get to the head sculpts. And I will say this, looking at this in person, it doesn't look as bad as what they showed us originally, but it still doesn't look good. So please don't get in the comments and start yelling at me that, you know, I'm being shillish by it. It does not look good. The paint and everything, it looks good. It is executed the way they wanted. Eyebrows are where they're supposed to be. No paint rub. Eyes actually look really good. It's got a little bit of paint around the lips. The nose looks good. You go all the way to the ears. Even the hair looks good. The sculpt just isn't that great. It's not Falcon-esque from G.I. Joe Classified, but it's just not really good. Again, it seems to be executed properly, but it's molded improperly. And even the hair on the back, I mean, it all looks real good, just the way they designed it, but I would not have released that, especially after you heard people and their complaints. All right, so here we have a second head. And I'm not really sure what is different about this head than the other one. I can kind of, let's take a look. Oh, so the eyes are just a little bit different right there. This one is closed a little more. That one is open. And yes, when you do reviews, you get Butterfingers. So while you're waiting for me to get Spider-Man's head, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. All right. So you got the spider webs all painted on. Like I said, there is nothing that is, this is just painted. So, and I think this is where people are going to be really have a lot of issues with the Spider-Man. But that looks real good. You don't have any paint rub there. Again, as I'm looking at everything here, the paint is exactly where it's supposed to be. The white is good. No overrun. Webs look good. Now, on this head, I think it looks real good. No problem here. Maybe you can see kind of where the the inkjets were coming together. And I kind of have an idea because I work on copy machines and there's certain ways to calibrate it, and it feels like this one was calibrated decently, but rather than it being all going over, they may have been coming together and trying to match it, and that kind of causes a problem. Now, as for Spider-Man, we're going to look at his detail first, then we'll go over his articulation, if he needs to be warmed up, how he poses, and different things like that. All right, so looking at the head here, and we're first going to go look here. So again, this is not as bad as some of the ones that we have seen. But again, where I'm looking at it here is this here is where it looks like the inkjet was coming together. And I'm assuming this is how they work. That there's two different inks that they're printed on one side onto the other rather than just completely go around it. And once it hit right there, that's where you can see that it doesn't hit absolutely 100%. This one, again, I don't think people are looking at this had they not seen some really bad ones. This one is not awful, so I'm happy with that. But we saw some really bad ones. So looking here, we got a little bit of rub here on the eye. Not the worst. I'm probably going to use the other head, to be honest. It looks like it's just a little bit better. You got your webs all the way going down. There's your white. It does look like right there on both eyes. I don't know why, but looks like maybe there's something there. And the camera picks up a lot of stuff that I don't, or you won't to the naked eye there. But the paint black looks good. Here we have down the neck. You got the spider on his chest. You can see all the web lines, which do look good. This dark blue, which I'm perfectly fine with. I'm not a huge Spider-Man guy, so I know what Spider-Man looks like. I know there's some lighter blue ones, some different color reds that some people aren't fully happy with. I'm perfectly fine with how this looks here. Does look like, I wonder if that's just supposed to be his chest. It's kind of weird the way that's actually indented. There you can kind of see where the chest goes across, where it's like the suit. And then going all the way down, you can see where everything is. And we get down right here to the legs. And you got all the webbing. And I do think it all looks good. The design is pretty good. You got the big spider on the back. Now, what you don't have is that this is just painted on, which leads people to believe we're probably going to get a Daredevil, a Maximum Deadpool right here. And if you are going to charge more and say, hey, this is the maximum, this is the be-all, end-all, it is hard to justify that, hey, we're jacking up the price twice as much and it's going to be comparable, or we're jacking up the price to $50 and we're just going to continue to reuse this buck. That causes a problem, and it does upset some people. So let's take a look at this articulation on it, because that is what the biggest thing is. All right, so as for his neck, he does look up that far, and then he looks down. So the neck actually can move back and forth along with the head. He can kind of tilt just a little bit. Obviously, you can turn it side to side. You get a wonderful T-pose. Actually goes past the T, which is good. This guy needs to have a lot of articulation. You got your bicep swivel, which feels really smooth. Double pinless joints. All right, so you get really good articulation there. That's more than most figures. You also have the forearm cut, and then you're going to have this wrist swivel. Now I can say this figure feels really smooth. All right, here is your butterfly joint. Again, a lot of people don't know what butterfly joints are. They sit right here. It gives them a lot of articulation in the back. Now to the front here, well, he should. I'm taking my time because it feels like it doesn't want to. There we go. Okay, so just take your time moving it across like this. He gets, okay, so that is maybe one of the best butterflies I've ever seen. All right, so this is how a butterfly joint is supposed to work. G.I. Joe Classified. Lenny, take a good look. I want Classified to have this much of articulation. So that goes straight across. So as we do this one here, it goes just as far. I mean, that is a lot of articulation. A lot. And it doesn't show. There's a lot that will show on differently. So you're going to have the shoulder socket being able to move, all right, along with this butterfly. Bicep swivel, again, pinless, same thing. We have the ab. So this is your ab crunch. Well, not your ab crunch. This is your diaphragm cut. So he can look up like this, and he can bend here at the waist, all right? So he doesn't get a huge amount, but he has this very unique, I don't even know if it's unique. We've seen it before. His ab crunch is pretty much down here at the waist. So it allows him to bend over that far. And then it allows him to go back that far. And he can also kind of move up like this, maybe where he's going to be, I don't know, doing like a matrix move. All right, as for turning side to side, which a lot of people didn't think that he could, he turns at the diaphragm. All right, so the diaphragm turns. He actually has some, if you notice that, the way he does turn, it's, I'm sorry, it's ratcheted. All right, so you can get him in some good poses already, I can see. As for his Jean-Claude Van Damme, you kidding me that he can't get a full Jean-Claude Van Damme. So no full Jean-Claude Van Damme. That is the Russian splits, the middle splits. All right. He does have drop-down hips. There you go. And as far as those things drop down, and they do drop down pretty far. All right. Drop-down hips are meant so you can get a nice straight shot like this. So you're going to be sitting, or if you're going to be doing a Jean-Claude Van Damme. And he doesn't get a full one, which is kind of odd. All right, there's your thigh swivel. your double pinless knees. He also has the boot cut. Now this is, unfortunately, when you do cut the boot, it has that break. You don't really see it on boots too much, like with G.I. Joe Classified, but on here you're going to see it a little bit more. All right. And then you have your awesome ankle rockers. So his ankle goes here, and it goes down that far, over like this, and then you have toe articulation. Now I'm not a big fan of toe articulation. With that said, I do believe Spider-Man should have toe articulation. He does a lot of stuff where he's going to be on his toes. I could see ninjas having it, although Classified doesn't do it. Lenny, please don't put it on. This Spider-Man here, the only other Spider-Man I have, the Ben Reilly, he has it. A lot of Spider-Men do not. And there's absolutely no reason not to have it. All right. So, as for the head, it pops off that easy. And we can pop... I'll pop this one on it as I grab the other one. All right. So, there's that head that, honest to God, I don't think anyone's going to use. Is that safe to say? I mean, if you're going to use this Peter Parker head, please tell me. Sorry, I was trying to get the head. Tell me if you're going to use this Peter Parker head. I just have a hard time believing anyone's going to use this, as I guess it kind of looks cartoony, but I'm not a fan of it. And I don't think most people are. So we're going to pop that off. We're going to throw this up here. All right. So he has a nice long neck, which I guess makes sense. You do want to get him in certain poses. All right. So, as for the hands, you pop that hand off nice and easily, and then we'll throw on a thwap hand. Actually, we'll do a wall crawling hand here. So here you have the wall crawling hand. That's how easy the hands pop on and off. As for the forearm, all right, as we can see, hopefully this pops off nice and easy. Almost knocked everything over. So this is going to come off, and then we're going to throw this right on here, possibly. So that goes right on there. I'm not a huge fan of that, as you can see how this is. It wouldn't make any sense if this was pulled up, if it's underneath it. Because I'm assuming this is supposed to be underneath the suit, but it's the same width. So anyway, but there you go. That is that type of stuff right there. As for the shield, I'm going to pop the shield on here. You're going to be able to pose, look at that, you can pose them in different ways here already. You can already look over stuff. How well does he stand? Well, I'm on this cardboard, new backdrop that I got. New table and everything. So I went from a wobbly table to a sturdy table, but I have a cardboard that bounces. So easy to get them into a pose like this. Again, one of my biggest things is how well did the toe articulation work. I can get this Ben Reilly into all kinds of different poses on his toes without any problems. I have a feeling that I might have to move him off of this to see if I can get him to actually stand on his toes. As you can see, that cardboard is just moving. But the question is it sturdy enough to let him stand on his toes? I do believe that the toe articulation is strong enough. I think I'm going to back this up for 1 second here. Let's back this up. I'm going to put him on something more sturdy. And right away I can get him to stand on that without a problem. All right. I'm going to pop this off. I don't really like this. I don't like this hand. I know a lot of people do. And again, you can't move it. So it's just very statuesque. Throw this on it. And this, I don't like the way it pops off. It feels soft to where it might feel like it's eventually going to break. All right. That's a long thwap hand. Throw this on here. All right. So let's see if we can get them onto one foot. And if the toe articulation stays where it's supposed to and doesn't bend around, I have no problem getting him just like that, all right? So the standing, I don't think you're going to have any issues getting them to stand. Now, let's quickly take a look at some other things and see how much. I mean, this guy can bend in a lot of different ways. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I mean, his hand's going to go all the way back if you want to. So you can have him grabbing one, and he's actually connected from, you know, one building to the other with your shoulder that far back, which I think does look really nice, all right? As for this pose here, all right, you're really going to get him. I mean, I tried doing that there. Matter of fact. So this is, I mean, this is exactly where you're going to get him. I mean, that's how far you can get him to shoot. All right, no problems there. Where if I grab this guy here on his stand, this is how far I can get him to go down. All right. Now again, he does have this overlay, so I can't tell you exactly how he's supposed to go. He has the exact same type of not chest cut, but I guess ab crunch. All right, and he's got to be able to turn, and he turns the same way. So he has a very similar design here, along with the legs and everything. But this is as far as I can get him to go down. All right, but again, this overlay may cause a problem. So what we're going to do is I'm going to grab this Storm Shadow from Classified. All right, pop everything off him. I'll deal with putting him back together later. So, I think this is probably going to be the best articulated, one of the best articulated Joes. Maybe the Zaymont Tomax. Now, unfortunately, and I know this is going to be a long video, guys, so bear with me. And if you're not, there's other people that spent a lot less time. So when he looks up, that's as far as Storm Shadow can look up, and looking down, they only look down that far. As for the T-pose, I'm sorry, the butterfly, this is what I've talked about here. When I want to cross him over, he cannot even hold swords using his butterfly, unfortunately. But this guy here, no problem whatsoever, and those arms are completely straight out. All right. As for the crunching, that's as far as Storm Shadow is going to go. All right. We can point these toes here. So Storm Shadow, who's Stamp Short? Storm Shadow is only going to go this far. All right. Whereas we can see Spider-Man here, this Maximum Spider-Man. This guy here is in one hell of a pose. Now, I know you're saying, hey, these are designed differently. You're absolutely 100% correct. All right? And I'm just kind of comparing it to one that I know is $25. It comes out of the same company, but different designers. As for, like, the Jean-Claude Van Damme, you see how good that is? Where this guy here, unfortunately, I can't get him there. All right? And you would think you'd be able to do something like that, all right? As for like the knees here, you see how far that knee goes over. If I take this guy here, he's going to go very similar. All right. As for going back in that position there, I mean, he can go back really far because that ab crunch does so much. But let's be honest, no one's really standing that way. But this is actually pretty good. I mean, I actually really... Okay. I did not expect Storm Shadow's leg to come off like that. Nor did I expect to hit them... hit this. Alright. This is what happens when you do things on one cut. So... pop Storm Shadow's leg back on there. I don't think I had a problem with that coming off. So anyway, you kind of see the difference. You can see there is way more articulation. Again, with this guy here... unless if I want to take this off, I can't tell you. Which is kind of... it makes you wonder. I mean, this is supposed to be a completely different mold, and it is. But with the knees here, I mean, you actually get more knee bend there. If I pull this thing back, you can now see how far back he goes. As for the elbow here, this you get way more. I don't want to say way more, but you definitely get more. The head, same thing. It's not on the neck, or there's not a neck joint right there. Now I have this older, wonderful Deadpool. Again, no pin joints or anything. And let's try and see how well he poses. He does not have any type of, yeah, this guy, I tell you right away, you're not going to get nearly the same articulation, as he doesn't have drop down hips. So there's a lot of stuff you can't do. Now this is an older version. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, I'm not a Marvel Legends guy per se, but I'm gonna guess they probably use this as a Spider-Man buck. As for crossing over here, look at those butterfly joints. Really good butterfly joints. Once again, Lenny, Hasbro team. Just get G.I. Joe to do this. I mean, they're the ones carrying the guns. So, now as for the spider sense, and again, I know you guys are bearing with me. I definitely do appreciate it. But again, I will be 100% honest. I take my time, and I want to show you everything that you're going to see here. So we're going to have this, the spider sense. It does look pretty good. The plastic is really clear, so you don't have to worry about it. Or it looks like he's wearing some sort of tiara, right? Tiara. I want to say Tiana, but that is the Princess of the Frog. All right. And I want to get rid of... Let's get rid of this. Let's grab a thrap hand. That's not a thrap hand. That's what happens when you are behind the camera. All right. So... we'll make Spider-Man here. And just kind of pose him up here. And again, I like to show you how difficult or how non-difficult you may be to pose a figure. Not everyone does that. We see a lot of people, they show you them wonderful poses, but how long did it take? D Amazing is one that I know he shows you right away. And he is honestly amazing when he does his posing. Alright. Cardboard, again, is not helping. But it also is showing you that if I can pose him on here, it means you can get him in some pretty good spots where the ground isn't perfectly level. Because people, I hate using stands, again, if you don't know. So there you go with that. Unfortunately, this here, he has to hold on to. So, let's see how well he can hold on to it. If I can find that hand, right there. And you're going to make him grab it here, maybe. So all in all, I think this is not a bad. He has his little Indiana Jones whip. At least I think it's Indiana Jones. I've actually never seen more than one of them. Put him in front of a train, and then you can have him fighting to make sure that train doesn't go off the tracks. So there you go. I think I covered just about everything. I don't think I need to show you every single hand. I think you know how this is going to work. You do have to get him in a lower stance. Now, if you wanted to grab a stand here, this actually went to a $7 knockoff Agent Venom. And I did have that guy there, but he doesn't have anything to hold on to. So, I'm gonna throw that up there. I mean, do that. I don't know. You can get some pretty good poses with this. I don't think this stand is the best. It doesn't want to stay. But Hasbro does make some good ones. Can't blame Spider-Man for the stand. Anyway, there you go. That is your Maximum Spider-Man. Now let's wrap this up because you spent almost 35 minutes here with me. All right, so there you go. That is your Maximum Spider-Man. Let's just talk. Do I think he's worth $50? There are so many variables when it comes to that. And no, this is not me trying to be a shill or take the side of Hasbro. And what I mean by that is I don't know what the cost is to make a figure. What I can say is that when I look at some of these big beefy figures that use more plastic that are $45, that are $50, when we see 2-packs that are $45 or have different accessories or little mopeds, it's hard to say that those are 45 or even 55, whatever they are, and this is the same type of plastic, probably out of the same factory. This is $50. A bunch of accessories, that's again a good thing. But when I look at the Black Widow that I did, the Target exclusive, she had 3 different heads, multiple hands, one of the best articulating figures, and seriously one of the best figures I've ever had. And she's actually sitting up there. You can't see her. I don't know why I'm even pointing. And she's absolutely wonderful. And she was $27 or $28 Target exclusive at that. Now, if you're saying that, hey, this is the only mold that we're going to use. When we decide to do Daredevil, he's going to be a different buck. We're going to use something different. Then I can understand and go, all right, $50. You're a big company, and I understand there's budgetary reasons. So please don't get into that because I'm the one that's always screaming, hey, $1 billion company, not a $1 billion brand. Marvel Legends, something a little different. But then when we see the Maximum Hulk and people are expecting it to be $75, $80 because of how much plastic it is, and it comes out to be $60, it's hard to justify and say that Maximum Hulk, if this thing is worth $50, that Hulk is only $10 more in plastic. And some of it has to do with maybe that they didn't redesign some of the stuff, and this one is supposed to be a completely different mold. So it's really up to you. I'm not a Spider-Man guy where I'm not going to have a whole bunch. I have that Ben Reilly because I really liked the Scarlet Spider as a kid. Not even as a kid, as a young adult. I just remember that the new Spider-Man comic and having it and thinking it was cool. I wanted just a definitive Spider-Man. I know there have been, if I am correct, according to Just Jeff, I believe 14 releases already this year. Again, it's not all Peter Parker, but I do understand the gripe of it, and it is valid to be 100% honest. So there you go. That is your Maximum Spider-Man. Is he, I don't know what I'm saying now. I'm at the end. Is he maximum as an articulation and worth it? Or does he make you maximum angry like so many others? Because, man, I don't know. I can't remember the last time one action figure made so many people angry. Just till we change the term to maximum. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. There you go. That is your Spider-Man. But please, before you do, if you stayed this long, thank you. God, thank you. Please take a second. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a Marvel Legends figure. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off. When I'm up here, I'm going to leave you some other Marvel Legends figure that I did. And down here will be a playlist of all the Marvel Legends stuff that I've done, which, believe it or not, is a pretty good amount. Take care.